everyone, it's News Generation. We have some very interesting and thought-provoking stories today. For many children in the Central Region, a day out of school means a day at work, helping to put food on the table. How heavy is your school bag? We have some interesting information about carrying heavy bags and why school bags with wheels are becoming popular. A market day at Aboabo in northern Ghana turns into something else as the Center for National Culture organizes a play to educate people about social and cultural issues. My name is Ifwa Akwa Harrison. Stay with us. News Generation, supported by
Cowbell with Vitarid.
Omo is even tough stains in just one step.
Daily Blue Band, Daily Grow.
Now on to our first story. A large number of residents at Abuja, a community near the CMB market in Accra, have been rendered homeless after fire gutted structures in the neighborhood. Those affected include pregnant women and nursing mothers who are mostly head porters and petty traders. Their wooden makeshift structures, which are also accommodation for them, were destroyed by the devastating fire, which started just around 8 p.m. on Tuesday. The cause of the fire is yet to be determined. The fire service prevented the flames from spreading to other structures nearby. Some people tried to save some of their items, while others looked on helplessly as the fire consumed their belongings. The fire service says investigations are underway to establish the cause and the number of those affected.
It started around 8 o'clock inside a small kiosk, but we don't actually know what happened. So when it started like that, we thought we don't know it will spread like that. So when it came, we tried to fetch water so that we can block the fire. My school uniform got burnt, and I can't go to school without the school uniform because the school will not allow me to go with the dress. So I have to stay for a while so that when my mother goes to the market, she can purchase me another one to go to.
When I'm walking, my mom there, me buy a sherry, na gas and a bomb.
Now, there have been a number of fires in recent months, usually at markets, leaving everyone puzzled about what is happening. Now, let's move on and go to the Central Region. If you live in the city and come from a middle-income family, you may choose to skip school for a day because your computer or game console broke down. But for many other children, a day out of school means a day at work, helping to put food on their family's table.
It is 6 o'clock in the morning on a Friday, and some residents of Utom are already at the beach preparing to go to sea. Appropriate technology is a luxury many here cannot afford, not even to make them more efficient, and so young people are needed to aid the process, which is strenuous, requiring lots of physical strength. Then they wait cautiously for a strong tide to help lift their canoe onto the sea. Exciting yet dangerous, that is the routine and reality for many fisherfolk along Ghana's coastline.
You can only go to sea if you are courageous. You may throw up on your first attempt, especially if you inhale the smell of fuel from the outboard motor.
A couple of hours later, they are back at the shore waiting for yet another strong tide to help the canoe back to shore.
When the catch is good, it helps, but when we go home with nothing, life becomes difficult.
Because technology is basic, the canoe has to be dragged onto the beach, then all attention is focused on dragging in the net. Some 3 hours later, after a lot of stress, the net may just be ashore. It's exciting for everyone who helped the team, but especially for children because it means food for the family and some money for basic expenses.
My school uniform is started and I'll be sent home if I wear mufti. That's why I'm not in school.
Books not know what I mean. Our parents cannot afford the school supplies, so we have to work to help support ourselves through school. If our parents have good jobs, they won't allow us to come fishing.
If social interventions were adequate and equitable, many of these young people would be back in the classroom.
Tell us what you think about this story. News Generation on Facebook. Let's now find out what else happened on the local front.
Members of Parliament have agreed to have only 13 persons serve on a transition team when an incumbent president is re-elected. This is one of many recommended amendments reached by members of the Subsidiary Legislation and Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament at a 2-day workshop. Multi-TV's Gifty Ando Apia has been shortlisted in the 2013 edition of the Multi-Choice African Journalist of the Year 2012. Her nomination comes just a year after another multimedia genius, Annie Osabute of Joy FM, won the CNN Africa Radio Journalist of the Year. She is one of 2 Ghanaians named in the final list of 27 finalists released. The other Ghanaian is Rebecca Ewua, GBC 24 Ghana. The police administration has directed the transfer of all officers of the MTTU at Sunyani in the Bono Ahafo region over their alleged involvement in corrupt practices. The officers were alleged to have extorted monies from commuters, particularly those who ply the Teshiman-Bui Road. Director General of the MTTU of the Ghana Police Service, ACP Awuni, announced this in Wa, the Upper West Regional Capital, while addressing officers there. The Gusau Municipal Assembly has begun a process to secure a new location to resettle the more than 500 residents of Kojonto left homeless after a private developer razed down their houses. The residents, including women and children, are temporarily lodging in the Obomu Kojonto school, where they only pass the night and pack out at dawn to allow students of the school access to their classroom.
Local news round. Now, many people believe that fasting brings them closer to Allah or God. Then again, there are also others who like to fast because they believe it cleanses them. So why do we fast? What's up?
Anybody fasts. It creates an atmosphere in the person. It's like a connection between the person and God.
Some people believe that when you fast, you're able to lose weight, but you're supposed to fast just to be able to talk to God and be closer to God.
I think fasting brings the body under so that you develop your relationship with God and also strengthen your spirit.
I think when you fast, you get enlightened spiritually.
Fasting improves upon our spiritual growth. Also serves as a platform so that we can have maximum concentration on God and His Word.
Both physical and mental aspects of the person's body is put under control. Therefore, they're able to communicate with God in a better way, formally, and their spiritual growth is strengthened.
Fasting is the period where people go without food and water in order to strengthen them both physically and spiritually for the things of God. People benefit so much from fasting, such as it strengthens their relationship with God or Allah.
Your views on WhatsApp. Time for a break, but when we come back, what carrying a heavy bag could mean.
Give kids the taste they love and the nutrition they need. Daily Blue Band, Daily Growth.
Sometimes a stained t-shirt can make you the happiest man. Now Omo Multi-Active removes even tough stains in just one step. Best ever stain removal from Omo.
And we're back. Now on to some more stories. For many children, heading off to school means carrying a bag full of books. But do you know that the weight of your bag and how you hold it can affect your spine? We tell you all about it.
Wearing a heavy bag is common among children, but experts say wearing heavy bags can cause damage to your spine. 13-year-old Maureen Tre tells us how she feels when she carries a heavy bag.
Anytime I wear the one with the 2 straps, after a long day of school, you feel some back pains and you don't know why, because you think it's stress, and maybe it's not stress, maybe it's the weight of the books you're carrying at the back.
Many of the children who spoke to News Generation prefer dragging bags to hanging ones.
When I use the one here, it's not easy to carry, but when I use this one, it's easy to drag.
I like this one because it's easier to use. The other one hurts my back a lot, so I don't like using it.
I use the normal bag we carry on our back because sometimes the books are too much and it's heavy, so it makes our back hurt.
I hate wearing the bag that you have to wear on your shoulders because it's very stressful after school. I prefer the dragon one because it's easier to carry around. It maybe sometimes it's big, and which makes it difficult to move around easily with, but then it's still easier to move around with.
Dr. Gressel Industrioso, a doctor at the Chiropractic and Wellness Center, says stuffing your bag with too many books can hurt your spine.
When a child carries a heavy bag, they carry the heavy bag usually on one shoulder. When they do that, they have to elevate the shoulder. And what that does is that it makes the spine go over to one side. The spine, if I'm looking at it from the front, this is what the spine looks like. It should be completely straight up and down. When a child carries a heavy bag, it tilts the spine over to one side, and that creates a lot of health issues. The head tilts over to one side, and one of the things that we see is that young children start suffering from headaches. And it's difficult to concentrate in school, even have a social life with friends when you're constantly in pain. So what we do in the office is that we correct the spinal misalignment and bring the body back into its centered position so children can go out and enjoy their lives.
Some parents say they are particular about the type of bag their children use.
Bought a dragging bag for my daughter because I think the books are heavy. When she carries the bag at her back, it might affect her.
The books are very heavy, so carrying the bag it will affect their spinal cord. That's why I bought the dragging one for her.
Parents that pick up their children from school can help and assist the children carrying these books, because too much pressure on the spine leads to health issues in the future. This problem is correctable, but you need to seek chiropractic care in order to fix it.
So next time you're getting new bags, ask mommy or daddy to get you one that is lightweight and does not hurt your back.
So, how many books can hurt your spine? Here are some fun facts on your health.
One of our recommendations is that if they're going to carry a bag, that they put the bag and strap it on both shoulders to keep it nicely centered. If the bag is too heavy, it's recommended to remove some of the books and carry them in the front. Okay, they can carry one book on each arm and then keep a certain amount of weight in the bag. If the child does not need to have their book sent home that day, they can either copy the information and transcribe it or write it down on another notebook and then take just that notebook home. It's not necessary to carry all these books back and forth every single day.
Hope you learned something new today. Now, just quickly, I want to read a few of your Facebook comments. First one from Maxwell Oche. I am grateful to your medium for the concise and objective news this afternoon on the Nkonya-Alavanyo conflict on your program. So this was when we carried that story a few weeks ago. Now, the demonstrators of Ashaman are doing the right thing a wrong way. The blame should be given to the MP of Ashaman. I suggest the president should get to their aid quickly. God bless Ghana. That's from Isaac Kofi. This is all from our Facebook comments. And final thing from Godfred Otu. I like what you are doing. Please keep it up. Yes, Godfred, thank you. We definitely will. Now, can you guess what one of the best ways to give public advice is? In Ghana, watching drama is one of the ways, whether it is a movie or a play. And this is exactly what the Center for National Culture in the Northern Region does. The group uses community drama to encourage people to adopt healthy habits. It is a market day at one of the biggest markets in the north, the Aboabo Market, and members of the Center for National Culture are getting ready to educate the people there. They organize plays to sensitize the public about social and cultural issues. Today, they are talking about the importance of hand washing. Salwa Adil is seeing something like this in the market for the first time. She tells us she was on her way home when she saw the crowd. She has learned something today.
If you are going to eat, wash your hand before you eat. Then if you are going to cook, wash your hand before you cook. If you are going to do any work, wash your hand before you do that work. They teach us how to behave in the house.
Antoinette Lecha has been working with the Center for Culture for the past 5 years, organizing plays around the northern region on different topics.
We are expecting that at least by the end of this hand washing program, the audience should be able to pick vital lessons concerning hand washing at critical points, being before eating, after visiting the lavatory, before breastfeeding a child.
The plays are not only about the cultural practices, but include practical solutions to change them. In this play, the actors talk about the importance of the tippy-tap container that saves water, what to do with garbage, among other things.
Most of the time, before we go to an area to perform, we have officers within Tamale, we have officers in the districts. They go to the people, they see what the practices are, and then we script according to those. And then when we are preparing the scripts, where we need to correct those things, we put everything together, what the people are practicing, and then what they should practice at the end of the day.
The education doesn't end here. UNICEF Field Officer Georgina Amidu says the play is only one of the action plans to improve development in the region.
We also have radio that is also complementing. We've involved school children also in this program, hand washing with soap, with prizes and all that for them.
For the cultural group, that's not all. Their work isn't done. They will move on to the next community they can access. For those they can't, they have a taped version of the play to distribute to the various communities. So that was the situation in the northern region, a community play to teach the people how to wash their hands properly. It's time for another break. When we come back, what Adelaide has for us on her landmark of the week.
We all know how important good nutrition is to grow up big and strong. Not only is cowbell milk enriched with 28 vitamins and minerals, it's also boosted by the 5 most important vitamins, which we call Vita-Rich.
It's got vitamin A for good eyesight development. It's got vitamin C to help fight infections. It's got vitamin D and calcium to help build strong bones and teeth. It's got vitamin E to help with body protection. And it's got vitamin K for general well-being and immunity.
For good health and vitality, only cowbell with Vita-Rich puts you on the fast track.
And we are back onto Adelaide's landmark of the week. And this week we feature something in Ekumfi Abuano in the central region, and it has some very interesting landmarks. There's a sacred place in the community which is home to a spectacular ship. Let's learn more about it.
This 20th century ship is believed to have been built by the head of the Asafu Company at Ekumfi Abuano, Kwame Fusu, in 1939. The natives consider it a sacred place in the community. It houses some of the gods of the people of Ekumfi Abuano, which are consulted by elders of the community every year during special ceremonies. Only a selected group of elders are allowed into the ship. Most traditional rites for the community are performed here. Community members believe the landmark is a symbol of protection they receive from their ancestors, and so important, community meetings are held near it. There are rules regarding the use of the landmark and its surroundings. This landmark has the features of a real ship, and during special occasions, a fire is lit in it. The smoke which comes out of each chimney is a symbol for native far and near to come home.
Interesting one there from Ekumfi Abuano. Now let's do some sports news. Midiama Sporting Club defeated newly crowned Globe Premier League champions Kumasi Asante Kotoko by 1-0 to lift the 2013 FA Cup. The painful defeat by the Takwa-based club dented the Porcupine Warriors' quest to win a league and cup double for the season. The wins by Midiama thus qualifies them to play in their first African campaign in the CAF Confederation Cup next season. Black Satellite striker Ebenezer Asifwa has won the coveted Golden Boot of the just-ended Under-20 World Cup in Turkey. Asifwa scored 6 goals in 7 matches to become the second Ghanaian, together with Dominic Adia, to win the award in 3 years. Black Satellite's midfielder Clifford Abuaje was adjudged the third best player of the tournament, winning a bronze ball. Former 100-meter record holder Asafa Powell and Sharon Simpson are being investigated by Italian police for allegedly breaking Article 9 of the country's doping laws after a raid on a hotel room in Udine used by trainer Shereb, from which supplements were seized. This follows former 100 and 200 meters world champion Tyson Gay and Jamaican Asafa Powell testing positive for banned substances. News of the duo's failed drug tests comes on the heels of multiple Jamaican Olympic medalist Veronica Campbell-Brown, who also failed a drug test in May this year. Both athletes have agreed to withdraw from next month's World Athletic Championships in Moscow, Russia. And now we're taking a trip around the world to see what else has been making headlines. At least 22 children have died after eating poisoned food in a government school in India's eastern state of Bihar. Dozens more have also fallen sick. An inquiry has begun and over $3,000 in compensation has been offered to the families of each of the dead. Glee lead actor Corey Monteith was found dead in a Vancouver, Canada hotel room on Saturday. The 31-year-old who played the quarterback Finn Hudson on the series Glee was said to have struggled with serious drug addiction since he was a teenager. The cause of his death has not been announced, awaiting autopsy results. Whistleblower Edward Snowden could win the Nobel Peace Prize. A Swedish sociology professor has nominated him for the prize, saying Snowden could help save the prize from the disrepute incurred by the hasty and careless decision to give the 2009 award to American President Barack Obama. He says Snowden's actions have showed individuals can stand up for their rights and freedoms. The portrait of the former South African President Nelson Mandela has been made with 5,000 cupcakes. It was created by children with cancer and volunteers from a charity in Johannesburg in South Africa as part of the celebrations for his 95th birthday on 18th July. Nelson Mandela has been in hospital in Pretoria for the past 5 weeks, still in critical but stable condition. That was International News Round. Now, every week, something new and exciting happens on the social media front. And our new segment, What's Trending, will bring you some of the new developments. Now, this week on What's Trending, the second videos. These are videos on social media that are shot in less than 60 seconds. Social media video website Kik has a 30-second time limit. Social media picture website Instagram, which previously only allowed pictures, now allows video uploads of up to 15 seconds. But if you think 15 seconds is a really short time to upload videos, then you haven't heard of the mobile phone app Vine. The Vine app allows users to create a short video clip of up to 6 seconds long while recording through Vine's in-app camera. The camera only records while the screen is being pressed. 10, 11, 12. What can I do in 6 seconds? I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. What can I do in 6 seconds? I don't know. And some Vine users have found some very creative ways to make 6 seconds of video.
Daddy, can you teach me how to twerk?
No more TV, no more computer. We're reading books from now on.
Okay, so there's a truck getting towed, and it looks like it's coming at us, and my wife's asleep. So we're going to see if we can scare her. Babe, wake up, there's a truck I'm sorry, it was funny. Bye, truck. It was getting towed.
That was so interesting. What can you do in 6 seconds? Let us know on Facebook. And speaking about Facebook, I just have one more comment from Isaac Parable. I think no child on this planet should be denied their right to be educated, irrespective of their physical challenge. And that's from Isaac Parable on Facebook. So that's all we have time for this week or this episode. So until next weekend, have a good rest of the week. News Generation, supported by
Cowbell with Vitarid.
Omo, even tough stains in just one step.
Daily Blue Band, Daily Grow.